Good afternoon, everyone. So, are there any more to come? How will you know? There are all the students to come. 10:50. After this, I will we are starting, otherwise we won't have time. Since I have been given from 2 to 3, right, I will give you a break in the session, right, 5 maximum. Then from today onwards, I will be taking your sessions. Not Professor Anna, I'll be taking Chaturanga, lecturer from University of Srilanka. Right. So I want to know that you were discussing about this competency analysis, is it right? So it is. I will just try to summarize what we have discussed, and before that, I have a few things to know from you that I am engaged with you. How many sessions, or else how many sessions to be conducted in the future? Is it 3, 4, 5? Have you got any idea? How is that clear? Only 3. Which today's one? Then except this one, we have only 2 more sessions. Easy. Only 2 more sessions. Then have you been given the assignment? A group assignment or individual one? Group assignment. Can I know what it is? Sorry? Or innovation. Then I hope this is a group assignment. Then have you been allocated to different groups? Groups of directly, how many members are there in one group? Then okay, I will discuss with some doctors here and I will let you know exactly and then how we can going. Right. Then computer analysis, what have you learned? Or else what do you know about this one? What are the areas you have covered for computer analysis? Another thing is normally how are the sessions conducted? Is it only in English or mixed? English only. Okay. Anyone who cannot understand Sinhala here? Yeah, anyone who can understand Sinhala? Right. Because in some cases, I might be using a few single explanations for you better understanding, right? Okay. I hope this one was covered. These things. Even this one. And this is where to start. Was this covered? Please tell me. Was this covered? Designing a competitive intelligence system, finding contested market factors. Can you please tell me where it was stopped? Slide showing clear. And I will briefly go through these stages, right? Since we have discussed. Right. When it comes to competitive analysis, first we need to know what is a competitive advantage, then competitive analysis, and competitive marketing strategies. Basically, a, a competitive advantage means an advantage over competitors created by offering consumers greater value than competitors do. It is like giving our customers something better than what our competitors are giving. That is where we can differentiate our product or services from our competitor offerings. Then competitor analysis, when it comes to competitor analysis, we need to know who our competitors are and what they are doing, their objectives, their marketing strategies, their strengths, weaknesses, right? Those things we need to know. That is what we may try to understand from a competitor analysis. And competitive marketing strategies means the strategies that strongly position the company against competitors and that give competitors strongest possible strategic advantage, which means the strategies which we can get more benefits compared to our competitors are getting, right? So that is what mainly these three things are explained. Then we need to do a competitor analysis or else to plan effective marketing strategies. The companies need to find out everything that they can find about their competitors. Because when we have more information about our competitors, that is easy for us to undertake or else for us to develop different marketing strategies, right? That is why companies are doing research, they find so many information about their competitors, right? That's why those things are done by competitors. And this is the simple steps of doing a competitor analysis. Then when it comes to identifying competitors, we have these four different types of competitors. The brand competition, industry competition, firm competition, and general competition, right? So the brand competition means a similar brands catering to the same types of target market competing with each other, like Coca-Cola competing with Pepsi, right? They're offering their products or offerings to a similar market or a similar target customers. And their brands or their products are more towards similar, right? Then industry competition, the this encompasses all companies that produce similar product or services within an industry. Let's say Coca-Cola competing with all other beverage brands in the marketplace, right? It is something about this industry competition, or else one beverage brand, one beverage company competing with all other competitors in the beverage industry. That is the industry competition. Then firm competition. Let's say we have these Coca-Cola as a drink or as a beverage. So firm competition means the Coca-Cola competing with all types of drinks in the market. It could be water, it could be fresh milk, or it could be other beverages and everything, or else even coffee could be a competitor for Coca-Cola when it comes to this firm competition. Then generic competition means the competition that any brand can have with all other brands in the marketplace, because they are concerned about how much money the customers will allocate from their pocket to buy their products. Let's say Coca-Cola, then Coca-Cola as a main brand, they are concerned on how much each consumer will allocate money from their pocket to buy Coca-Cola product, right? Which means the Coca-Cola has a competition with all the other companies in the marketplace. It could be any food, it could be biscuit, it could be chocolate, or it could be anything, right? For the customers, any products ගන්න need එකක් satisfy කරගන්න අනිත් products purchase කරන්න Coca-Cola වලට සල්ලි වියදම් කරන්න නැතුව වෙන මොන product එකක වියදම් කරයි කියන competition. That is all about this brand competition, industry competition, firm competition, and generic competition. Is this clear to you? Then this is an approach that we can use to do a complete analysis. The five forces. So was this one explained? Right. Then when it comes to porters, pipe forces, there we have the potential entrants, suppliers, substitutes, buyers, and rivalry among existing firms, right? So we need to know, let's start from these bargaining power buyers, right? So when we have, let's say, strong buyers, right? Let's say we have a set of buyers who has a huge power, or else they can dominate our market share, or else they can control our market share, right? So they have, or else these, when it comes to bargaining power of buyers are increasing, that is difficult for us to manage our marketplace because they have a huge power. Let's say when, let's take as an example a class versus a school. When the teacher doesn't have the control over their students, the teacher is in a difficulty of controlling the class, right? So the same thing is applied there when customers are having a huge power, or else when customers can move to other products in the marketplace, then the bargaining power of buyers is high. Then especially this is happening when there are so many alternatives, right? When there are so many alternatives, the buyer's bargaining power is high. Let's take as an example a carbonated drink, right? Then Coca-Cola, we have so many options in the marketplace to purchase. There the customers' bargaining power is high, right? Because customers have so many options in the marketplace. Then the next one, the potential entrance, which means the threat we can have from the future entrants who can enter the marketplace. If it is a beverage industry, so there may be some future brands which can come to our marketplace. If there are more brands to enter to our marketplace in the future, which means there can be a huge threat for our brand in the future, right? After the future, the brands market anything out here, then our competition can go up, or else we might be having a huge competition in the marketplace, right? So the next one, the bargaining power of suppliers. Let's say we are relying on only a few suppliers, right? And they are providing their raw materials to us, and they are demanding, or maybe let's say they are providing some unique materials to us, right? And it's difficult for us to find those materials from someone else. In such cases, the bargaining power of suppliers can also be high. Let's take as an example, for professionals in Sri Lanka, let's take a digital industry, right? A digital marketing firm, right? Then for the digital marketing or as for the digital firm, they are getting their computers from one supplier, and that is the only supplier in the marketplace, right? In that case, that computer supplier can have a huge power because they know that if they are not existing in the marketplace, the particular digital firm may not be able to get the computers that they want to operate their business, right? That is how this is going up, the bargaining power of suppliers. In the substitutes, when we have more alternatives again, the customers can shift from us to other products, right? Let's take as an example a biscuit. For biscuit, we have so many substitutes. Let's say a cream cracker from Melbourne, then they have munch cream cracker and they have other cream crackers and even other biscuits in the marketplace, which means they have so many substitutes products, right? When the substitutes products are in high number in the marketplace, this threat can go up, right? Then rivalry among existing firms, which means the competition we get within the firms in the same industry, right? That is a rivalry among existing firms. Let's say for the mobile phones, right? We are, let's say we are selling Samsung, right? For the Samsung, they can have huge competition from other mobile brands in the marketplace. Nokia, Apple, Huawei, from those players, they can have huge competition. They are in the market currently, right? So that is the competition that they can get from the existing players in the market, right? So we need to do this analysis to understand about how our competitors are doing or else how our competitors are performing in the marketplace, right? We need to know who their suppliers are, who their customers are, with whom they are competing, right? What are their strengths, what are their weaknesses? Then only we can identify well about our competitors, right? For that purpose, we can use this Porter's point process. Was this clear? Or was it too fast? Or was it? Do you understand it? Do you get how do you get these handouts? How do you get these? Yes. All the handouts are a number. If for card they never accept it. Then I will give my contact number to one of you. Just send me a message, then I will share it with you. Right. Then when assessing competitors, we need to do these things. We need to determine competitors' objectives, right? For that, we need to go in detail, or else we need to find more information about our competitors. Then we need to identify their strategies, and we need to assess competitors' strengths and weaknesses. And finally, we need to estimate competitors' reactions, right? So these things are not in detail, but in surface level to find out this information. What we have to do is we need to do more research about our competitors, right? Then only we can find information or else more information about our competitors. When we do more research, we can get more information about them. Then strategic groups. Strategic groups, a group of firms in an industry following the same or a similar strategy, right? Let's take the carbonated drink industry, right? Let's take as an example Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and other cola drinks in the marketplace. So if they are following the similar kind of strategies to market their offerings, or if they are targeting the similar target market, similar set of customers, if they are doing similar strategies, similar marketing strategies, similar promotional strategies, right? Similar distribution strategies. So that group is called as a strategic group, right? එකම විදියට marketing activities කරන අය consider කරනවා strategic group එකක් විදියට. එකම industry එකේ එකම විදියට තමන්ගේ marketing activities කරනවා. That is what we call as a strategic group, right? Then when we need to select, was this one discussed, strong and weak, good or bad? No. When we need to select competitors to attack or avoid, we have to follow this, right? Because though there are a number of competitors in the marketplace, we always should not compete with everyone, right? There can be some competitors whom we cannot compete with. Like what happened to Kit Cola in the marketplace, right? Kit Cola, when they were when it was introduced to the marketplace, their initial plan was to compete with Coca-Cola, right? So we know that Coca-Cola as a brand or as a company, they have many capabilities. They have thousands of resources. They have sufficient funds to go against with any player in the marketplace, right? But Coca-Cola, did not have that comfortability. They were not that much of a better company, or else they did not have sufficient resources, sufficient capabilities to compete with a player like Coca-Cola, right? But their intention was to compete with Coca-Cola. So ultimately, what happened was, since they were trying to compete with Coca-Cola, so nothing happened to Coca-Cola, but Coca-Cola at the end uh, met with failures in the marketplace, right? Coca-Cola එක market එකේ වෙනවා මොකද ඒගොල්ලෝ නිතරම try කළේ Coca-Cola එක compete කරන්න. That is not possible for us, right? If there are giants in the marketplace and if we are still small players in the marketplace, then we should not try to compete with them. We should try to go a different journey, right? We should try to offer something different if we cannot compete with our competitors in the marketplace, with our giants in the marketplace, right? So that is why these things are needed: strong or weak competitors, close or distant competitors, and good or bad competitors. So strong or weak competitors. The company can focus on one of several classes of competitors. A useful tool for assessing competitor strengths and weaknesses is customer value analysis. When it comes to the strong or weak competitors, we should focus on identifying customer value analysis, right? This analysis conducted to determine what benefits the customer value and how they are rate the relative value of various competitors' offerings, right? Let's say, so hope you have learned what customer value is. What is meant by customer value? Yes. What is meant by customer value? That is about a comparison between the benefits that customers are getting and the cost that they have to bear when it comes to consuming a product or service, right? Let's say this program as a product or service, right? Basically, this is as a service, you have a particular value. You are getting some benefits, but for those benefits, you are bearing a cost. That is not only about a monetary cost. It could be energy, psychic, likewise the different and time cost, different cost factors could be there, right? Also, different benefits can be here, right? Mainly the service benefit you are getting or the product benefit and the age benefit, right? Likewise, different benefits are there. If those benefits are higher than the cost that you have to bear, which means you have a better value. But if you are getting more cost compared to the benefit that you are getting, which means you are not getting a better value, right? So the strong or weak competitors, this analysis is done based on how customers rate the competitors based on the value that they are getting, right? We can maybe have some discussions or we can do some research about it with our customers to know how customers are valued, how customers are rating the competitors based on the value that they are getting, right? Then this strategic sweet spot, right? Which means the areas where the competitors have not touched, but the areas where we can touch based on our capabilities, right? See this one, this is not an area touched by our competitors, right? The competitors are touching only this part, only this area. But customers have a need, right? Customers have needs, and based on our capabilities or based on our resources, we can offer something which matches to these customers' needs. So that is called as the sweet spot. So to identify that one, we need to do that strong versus weak analysis, right? We need to ask from customers what they prefer and what they are not getting from competitors, right? So if we can offer something with our capabilities or with our resources, which matches to customers' demands or customers' needs, which means we are touching that customer's sweet spots, right? Then good or bad competitors. First one was this strong or weak. Then good or bad competitors. A company really needs and benefits from competitors. However, a company may not view all of its competitors as beneficial. Good competitors play by the rules of the industry. Bad competitors, in contrast, break the rules. I will explain this. Right. So here we need to identify some uncontested markets, right? Uncontested markets, or as we call this as the blue ocean in the blue ocean strategy, right? So rather than competing head to head with established competitors, many companies seek out unoccupied positions in uncontested market spaces, right? Let's say this is again like that sweet spot that we discussed, right? So let's say there are some markets which haven't been touched by our competitors, right? There can be some markets. Or else we do not have a huge competition in those areas. So we call this as blue ocean markets, which means we can freely do our marketing operations. We can freely do our marketing activities, right? Or else we do not have competitors. We need to analyze, or else we need to find out those types of markets where there is a less competition in the marketplace, right? Then designing a computer intelligence system, that is all about finding more information, right? As I told you at the beginning, finding more and more information about our competitors and trying to interpret those information in a way that we can make better decisions about marketplace, right? Then this one I will discuss later. Are you okay so far? I don't know, since you are talking. Are you getting anything from what I'm explaining here? Is there anything that you need further explanations? Yes. How many sessions are there for one subject? The subject area sessions get 15. So now have you like finished around 12 sessions for this subject? Then marketing, even for marketing, do you have 15 sessions? 12. 15 or 12? Have you been given any semester plan or something? I don't know. So, 12. No, I'm asking like how many sessions do you have for one subject? Let's say for marketing, for this marketing management subject, how many sessions do you have for this semester? Is it 12, 15, 10, 15? Then have you finished around 12 sessions so far? Then how many sessions have you completed? 8. You said that around 2 or 3 sessions more to cover. If it is 8, we should have 4. Sorry? June 3rd week you have exam. Okay. The next week, do you have lectures? I think no. Okay. Please. Right. So approaches to marketing strategy. Sorry. Yes, approaches to marketing strategy. So the companies need to determine what makes more sense given its position in the industry and its objective, opportunities and resources. So based on the objectives, based on the resources they have, right? Based on the opportunities they have in the marketplace, they need to determine the best way to compete with each other or else with other competitors in the marketplace. For that, they have three main strategies: overall cost leadership, differentiation, or focus. Right? Overall cost leadership, differentiation, no focus. The cost leadership, becoming the lowest cost producer in the industry, right? So by being the lowest cost producer in the industry, they can compete with other players in the marketplace, like what China is mainly doing, right? They always try to be cost effective, or else they try to be the least cost producer, and by being the least cost producer, they try to uh, get the cost leadership for their products, right? That is what mainly the Chinese companies are trying to do, right? Compared to competitors' offerings, their offerings are much more cheaper, right? Then these are their characteristics: high efficient, cost control, and they try to get the economies of scale. They do the mass production, right? They go for large scale of production, and with that large scale of production, they try to achieve a minimal cost for their offerings. So with that minimal cost, they can sell their offerings for lesser prices, right? That is how they try to get the cost leadership. The next one, the differentiation. So the company is trying to offer unique products compared to other competitors' offerings in the marketplace. They always try to be differentiated. They always try to be unique compared to the competitors' offerings in the marketplace, right? Like Apple iPhones, right? So compared to other mobile phones, other smartphones in the industry or else in the marketplace, they always come up with some unique features, right? Which other companies sometimes haven't thought of offering those features with their mobile phones, right? They always try to be unique. Then also they do strong branding, and in terms of the quality, they always try to maintain a high quality compared to the other brands in the marketplace, right? Then the next one, I told you we have three methods: the cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. Under the focus, we discussed two main things: the cost focus or differentiation focus, right? So the cost focus, what happens is they try to target a niche market with low cost products, right? So a niche market, a particular specific market they try to select, and they try to offer the products to that niche market for a lesser price, right? So they focus on niche market, and they also have the cost efficiency, like Southwest Airlines, right? And their airfare compared to the other airlines. So those are much more cheaper, or else not high priced services they are offering compared to the other airline services in the market, right? Or else they try to go for differentiation focus. Again, they try to target a niche market, a particular small market, right? But they try to differentiate the offerings which are matching to those different matching to those niche markets, like what Rolex is doing, right? They're offering customized watches for their customers, but they are not offering their products for everyone in the marketplace, because they know that those products cannot be bought by everyone in the marketplace since they're a high price. But they are focused on some small set of customers who can bear their prices, and try to sell those products to those customers. So they also try to maintain this uniqueness and high quality products they try to offer for their customers, right? So these are three main strategies that the company can try to practice in the marketplace. The cost leadership, then differentiation and focus. Under focus, again we have cost leadership for differentiation. Mainly, they focus on reaching or targeting a niche market, right? Those are three main strategies. Are these things clear to you? The strategic marketing, so basic comparative strategies, the three things. Just try to keep these things in your mind with some examples, like I explained to you. Then that is right. That four types of competition: that brand competition, industry competition, form competition, generic competition. You don't want to keep that definition or that explanation. Just keep a couple of examples in your mind with those words, and that is easy for you to write at the examination. Right? For the brand, Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Then we know that the same types of brand competing with each other, or is offering same kind of products or similar customer base, right? That is what happens in brand competition. But if you try to keep that definition or keep that explanation in your mind, that will not work for you. But keeping examples or keeping the names of brands or the products will be easy for you to keep in your mind, right? That is a one advice for competitive positions. We can have market leaders, challengers, followers, and market niches, right? So, as a summary, in a marketplace, more towards we can have leaders, right? Market leaders can be high in terms of the number because they can have or else these market leaders are the ones who have the largest market share, right? Or else they belong, or else they have the ownership of the largest market share in the marketplace, right? That's why there is these percentages are given for a market leader, maybe around 40 to 50% they can own from the total market share, right? Approximately half of the market share is owned by them, right? Market leaders. That is how they become the leaders in the market. So they always try to expand their total market, and while trying to expand their total market, they try to protect the existing market share and expand the market share, right? That is what they will try to do. Is there any difference with the slides? No. Then the market challenger. So this is second to the market leader, right? Compared to the market leaders, they can have a small market share, but they are the. Is any problem? Anything, just tell me. Otherwise, I do. That's why. This is the run-up firm that is fighting hard to increase its market share in an industry, right? Compared to market share, they can have a small. Compared to market leader, they can have a small market share, right? Around 30 to 20, they can have market challenge. And these market challengers do these two different types of attacks: the full frontal attack and indirect. Full frontal and indirect attack. The full frontal attack means the directly challenges the competitor by matching or exceeding every aspect of their offerings, including products, pricing, distribution, advertising, and customer service. They try to directly challenge their competitors, right? Or they try to match their offerings, they try to match their products, like with every aspect of their offerings, like products, pricing, distribution, advertising, customer service. For everything, they try to be, or as they try to maintain similar like what their competitors are doing. Even competitors lagi marketing strategies වලට සමානම දේවල් තමයි මේ full frontal attack කරන market challenges ලා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරන්නේ. Right? Like let's say in cream cracker biscuit, right? The Munchie and Melbourne, they do more towards similar things. The pricings are similar. Then the size of the biscuit packets, then everything is more towards similar, right? Then the indirect market, the company targets the weakness of competitor through more subtle and innovative means rather than confronting them head on, right? There what happens is they try to find out some weak points of the competitors and try to attack those points, right? Or just try to target those points. So this approach often involves focusing on underserved market segments, introducing new technologies, or altering the value proposition in ways that the competitor might find difficult to mention. Right? They always try to come up with something different compared to their competitors. Or else they try to find out the weakness or else weak points of competitors and try to offer what their competitors are not offering to the marketplace. Right? So then the nature of the market challenge. Right? They do these two attacks, full frontal and indirect attack. Right? In some cases, they might be directly competing with the competitors, and in other cases, they might be indirectly finding out weak points of competitors, and they might be trying to target those weak points of the competitors and offer the best offerings that they can offer to the marketplace. Right? Then we have then the market followers. Challenge and then market follower. So they want to hold its share in an industry without rocking the boat, right? They follow sometimes at a distance, right? They follow at a distance. So compared to the market leader and challenger, the follower can have a very small market share in terms of the size, right? They can have a very small market share in terms of the size. The next one, the market niche, that is the smallest market share that they can have, but in terms of the profit, they might be earning a high profits compared to the other players in the market, right? Like in some products, there are some products which are mainly targeting the lefties or else the people who are doing their things with left hands, right? There can be some people, right? So they are offering the products, especially targeting the lefties in the marketplace, right? Lefties in the marketplace, right? It could be chair or it could be anything, right? Right? So even music instruments, right? They are mainly focusing on the people who are familiar with their left hands, right? Lefties. And there can be some people who are willing to purchase antique products, right? Antique products. So that is also a niche market. But the prices of those products are very high, right? So in terms of the profit, those companies can earn huge profits, right? So that is the nature of the market niche. So by customer, market, quality, price, service, that is how they try to niche the market, or that is how they focus for it. That is what these players are focusing on. Then even multiple niching can be there. Are you okay so far? Anything to ask? Can I ask you for second fast? Faster, I don't know. You just tell me, then I will sort out things. Normally, did you have any classroom discussions when you were having previous sessions or some of the sessions? Did you have any classroom like activities or any different things to discuss at the classroom? Did you have? Sibat. Sibat. Marketing kit. Then I will have one in the next session. Right. So balancing customer and company orientations. So it is true that we need to always find, or else we need to find information about our competitors, right? So while finding information about our competitors, we should try to satisfy our customers' needs and wants as well, right? Unless what can happen is we might be totally focusing about our competitors, and end of the day, we may be unable to satisfy our target customers, right? So that is what we are focused on. While competing competitors, we should always try to satisfy our customers' needs and wants. That is the ultimate objective of marketing. Achieving the company's goals and objectives while satisfying customers' needs and wants, right? So therefore, we have to be both customer centered as well as competitor centered. Apne customer centered වෙන ගමන්ම computer centered එක follow කරන්න වෙනවා, right? So if we are focusing only about, sorry, if we are not focusing both customer and customer competitors, then that is called as the product orientation. We are focusing only about our product improvement. Then we are not concerned whether our customers are satisfied or whether we can compete with our competitors. That is not something good for our organization. Then if we are totally focused on the product orientation, what can happen? Then we might be facing to the marketing myopia. Hope you have learned it, marketing myopia, right? Improving the product or else improving the quality of the product without focusing on our competitors' needs, customers' needs and wants, right? So that is not something good to have in the marketplace. The next one, we can be competitor orientation. There, we are concerned about what our competitors are doing. We are trying to do better than our competitors, but we are not focused on our customers, right? We are not concerned on customers' needs and wants. We are not offering something which is matching with customers' needs and wants. Again, that may not work for us, right? Because we are trying to compete only with our competitors. We are not trying to offer something to satisfy customers' needs and wants. That is not something good. The next one, the customer orientation. There we are trying to satisfy our customers' needs and wants, but we are not focused on competitors. Then in such cases, our competitors might be coming up with new strategies, new products, new services, which they can acquire more number of customers, right? So the best thing is we should both concern on customers as well as competitors. We need to focus on customers' needs and wants, as well as we need to be focused on these competitors' actions, right? If they are doing something better than us, which is matching to customers' needs and wants, we also should try to find out a better way which we can acquire more number of customers, right? Then both customers also can be satisfied and we can compete against our competitors. That is what we should mainly do. That is what we should try to do at the marketplace. Otherwise, if we are just focusing only about either customers or competitors, then we won't be able to easily win the marketplace, or else we might be a loser in the marketplace, right? We should be a winner in the marketplace. So for that to happen, we should focus on both customers and competitors, right? So that is a simple explanation about the computer analysis. Since you had an initial discussion about this one, I just needed to give you a summary of this computer analysis. Anything to ask from this one? Yes, anything to ask? Anything you need for the explanations? Yes. Then what are your requirements for the assessment? Is it a report and presentation? A report and presentation. So when is the submission deadline for the report? Has it been given to you? Sorry? First of June. Then when is it supposed to have the presentation? Last week. Was it given to you a deadline or any fixed date for that? Presentation and date of good. Then were you given any guidelines for the presentation? No. You were not given any guideline for the presentation or report, but you were given only assessment. Then I will share that also with you, right? Then you can work accordingly. Let's go for the next one. One second. I think you have been given guidelines in the assessment. Thank you for my follow those guidelines. Right, I think you have 50 marks for the assessment for the group assignment, is it 50 or 40? I don't know. I was told that is 50. That is how I was communicated. I will discuss that you know everything by next week. Right? I will read up next. I will Then the next day that we are meeting, I will let you know everything. Right. Uh, anything else to ask about the assessment assignment? I hope you all are working on it now and uh, try to do a better job for the assessment. Uh, you can get the support of technology, and I know that you are using it, but do not overuse it. I'm really talking about AI, right? Otherwise, you can do this topic, ChatGPT, Gemini, or anything, and you can get everything. But it will not work for you at the presentation and at the time I'm asking questions based on your presentation, right? Because there will be a Q&A session as well for every presentation, so that you can just read the things using technology since you are talking about the innovations for marketing. So there mainly we need to have the technology for support, but do not totally depend on the answers you are getting from AI, right? For your convenience, you might be following those things, but do not do those things. And there can be ways that we can find out whether you have done a general job or something extracted from AI generated content, right? So that is not my idea. My advice is to do your own work, right? You can search on and you can get the support of those tools, but do your own work on the system, right? So I hope you have no issues with your groups as well. How did you group yourself? Was it done by yourself or was it something done by joint student? By yourself. I hope everybody is aware about the group that they are belonging to. Amen. Otherwise, last year some people might come and say that I don't have a group. Right? Those things I'm not expecting from you. Right? Then just to know about yourself, because this session is also about identifying our target customers and creating value. Then are you all working people? Right. And are you doing this started as well, except this degree? Have you completed it or not? Then what are the levels that you are in? Uh, you have levels 4 or something, no? Right? Then you are at level 4. Level 3, that is business level or corporate level. Then the last one is strategy. Then you are in level 3. Say, no, you are in? Uh-huh. So who has come from Calendar? Then have you done a degree of a diploma? I diploma in marketing. I diploma in accounting. But by Calendar, others have done charting. They have done up to level 3. Level 3 is chartered something. Corporate levels, right? Has it been completed by you? Or is I was student? Right. Then now are you working as auditors or someone? I don't know. Sorry? In finance departments. Right. Anyone working as auditors? Internal auditing or something you need to do? No, don't worry, just tell me. Because I need to know who you are. Otherwise, like, I'm straight away coming to the class, delivering what I know, blah, 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 and explaining the things. You are just listening. I know now that you are listening or not. And you are sitting there, I'm standing here for about 3 hours, which is not easy. Just have a friendly discussion during these sessions. Yes, that will be easy for us to have a better understanding. That competition part, I just went quickly because I thought it had been finished. Right? Anyway, I just tried my level best to give you a summary. If there is anything that you need to understand, please let me know. And I can do it again. Do you have online lectures as well? In case we cannot get physical lectures, let's say next week or week after next, I cannot come. In such cases, can we go for online lectures? You haven't had any online lectures for this. So do you like to come physically or online? Online. Then you can just have the recordings and. But we more towards like the physical session. We can actually see you, though you do not talk. In online session, that is very much difficult for us to talk to the screen. If we are not talking to the students, we are just talking to the screen of our laptop. And continuously talking for about 3 hours. Not again easy and not practically. Then everything that we want to explain will not come out, right? There's especially these explanations will be better based on your expressions, based on your reactions, based on how you are asking questions, right? So let's try to have some interactive discussions and let's try to have some activities even at the class. Right? I hope you're okay with that. Right. Then customer-driven marketing strategy, or how we can create value for target customers. So this is one of the most important aspects, or is one of the most important session that we are planning to do. So this is mainly about. I hope I can use this whiteboard. Or else this we call as STP. STP. Right? The segmentation, targeting, and position. Right? So this discusses about how well we can offer a better product for our market, for our customer. Right? Or else how well we can create a better value for our customer. Right? So this is our session outline, the differentiation and positioning, market segmentation, targeting, and customer-driven marketing. So this is there at the beginning. Hopefully, we will be discussing this differentiation and positioning at the end of the session, right? That is how the flow should be. One question. You can give me answers. Why should marketeers target their markets? Why should companies target their markets? Just the answer from you. Why? Why should marketeers target their markets? Yes. Now we will talk and give you answers. Let's say you get this question for the exam paper. Yes. Why should marketeers target their markets? Yes. What do you think? Why? Yes, to maximize their profits. What do you think? To achieve their goals. What else? Then, to understand customer behavior. To maintain customer base, right? Yes, what do you think? Why? Why should marketers target their markets? To analyze competitors, with this market share. Right. Okay, we got different answers. We'll see. Do you think that a company can offer their product for everyone in the marketplace? Can they? No, they cannot. That is why the companies have different set of target markets, right? Maybe the customer's preferences can be different from one customer to another. Let's say, let's take this class, we have around 20, right? These 20 students can have different preferences. Let's take lunch as an example. One may prefer to have from KFC, one may prefer to have from McDonald's, though we don't have McDonald's now, right? One may prefer to have rice curry, one may prefer to sometimes fruits, right? People have different preferences and people have their characteristics are different, right? So that companies should target or as companies need to focus on target different markets based on the capabilities that they have, right? Let's say uh, there are some customers, right, who are always focused on or who are concerned on having junk food only. In such cases, if we have capabilities, if we have resources, if we know how to prepare junk foods as a company, that is better to open an outlet in those areas. But if we are not capable enough, and if we do not have sometimes the sufficient time to get trained of how to prepare those junk food, and if we have sufficient time to find raw materials to prepare junk food, again that's fine to open a junk food restaurant near to those areas. But if we are not capable enough, and if we don't have enough time to find out raw materials, or if we cannot find employees to work there, then no point of even trying to open a junk food restaurant near those areas. Because if we cannot serve the customers' needs and wants, if we cannot satisfy customers, then no point of uh, targeting or there's no point of trying to reach those set of customers. That is why the companies need to target their markets. So based on the capabilities they have, and if those capabilities are matching up with the customers' needs and wants, then the companies can target their different target market, right? So the customer-driven marketing strategy, this is what this discusses. The companies cannot appeal to all buyers in the marketplace, or else at least not to all buyers in the same way, right? It is obvious that we cannot appeal to everyone in the marketplace, right? Let's say I am teaching to you, but I may not be able to teach all level to A-level students. And that is very much difficult, and I have experienced. In some cases, I go to some sessions on schools, and that is very much difficult for me to explain things for them. I don't know why that is, right? Since I have not taught to them, right? Maybe what they're expecting can totally be different from what I can deliver, right? So the same way is applied for the companies as well. Sometimes the company operating in Colombo may not be able to operate well in a village area, maybe in a rural area, because the customers' preferences, customers' demands can differ from Colombo to that rural area. That is why we need to have this segmentation, targeting, and position. And that is what this also says. Companies cannot appeal to all buyers in the marketplace. The company cannot offer their product or services to everyone in the marketplace. In other words, the same product a company may not be able to offer to everyone in the same way. Sometimes the same product, let's take the clothes, right? Some people might be willing to go for the textile shops physically. On the other hand, there can be some people who are willing to order things online, right? So even that way, the customers have different preferences, right? So if the company can cater to both those types of customers, then they might have to go for physical outlets and online outlets. That is why the keys and some textile outlets, right? these retail outlets are maintaining both offline and online stores. Because there are some customers who are not concerned about the price. They might be concerning only about the convenience. Right? They don't like to physically go to the outlets and check the products. Right? But still there can be some customers, though they are very much busy, though they do not have enough time, but they still prefer to go for the outlets physically. Right? Customers can have different preferences for the same product, but they are ready to pay at different prices. For the online, sometimes when we order things online, we might have to pay something higher than or as an amount higher than we are purchasing it in physical mode, right? That is why we need to develop this customer-driven marketing strategy. Customer-driven marketing strategy. Based on the customer's preferences, we might have to change our marketing strategy. Right? That is what mainly this explains, or else that is what we mainly try to do under this session. Customer-driven marketing strategy. Was it clear to you? Why should we go for this customer-driven marketing strategy? Why is it important? Right. So when it comes to designing the customer-driven marketing strategy, we need to first select customers to serve, and then we need to decide on a value proposition. Right? When it comes to selecting the customers to serve our products and services, then we need to go for segmentation and targeting. Right? I will go through those things one by one. And when we decide on our value proposition, we need to go for differentiation and position. In simple terms, I will explain you the segmentation means based on the characteristics of the customers, we just try to find out similar set of customers. Let's say from here, I use age as a character. Right? We say age as a characteristic, and based on the age, I try to divide you into different groups. Let's say people from 20 to 25, then people from 25 to 30, and people more than 30. Right? For those three different age groups, I might be able to put you separate. Right? That is what we may do under segmentation. We divide the market, we divide our customers based on different characteristics. Right? Then targeting means based on what I can offer, based on and depending based on what I can offer, I just try to find one segment. I just try to select one segment to offer my product. That is what we call as targeting. So I divide the market from, let's say, 20 to 25. Then 25 to 30. More than 30, right? Using age. I divide the market. Then let's say for this one, I get by looking at, let's take 4 people, then 6 people, more than 10 people. Let's assume yeah. Right. Then I select this market or this set of customers to offer my products. That is what we call as targeting. Right? Separating the market into these three, we call as segmentation. First, we do the segmentation, and based on that division, based on that separation, based on that grouping, I select one or more segments. Let's say I can offer my products even for more than 30 people, right? Then I select these 2 segments. Then my targeting would be 25 to 30 and more than 30 people. Right? I hope that's clear. I will explain it further. Right? Then differentiation and position. Then in the previous session, we discussed about our computer analysis. Right? Then we try to identify what our computers are doing better than us. Right? Then in differentiation and positioning, what we try to do is we just try to differentiate our offerings compared to our competitors. Right? And positioning means we just try to keep our brands or the product's name in customers' mind, right? That is what positioning means. That is why, um, that is because of better positioning. Maybe your parents, maybe your grandparents are still asking for slippers, but they just when they need to buy slippers, they go to shops and they are not asking for BSI, Lanka, Waves or anything else. Only we are asking those brands, those names. But our uh, elder people, they are asking for, but because they think that if it is slipper, it should be something fun, right? And that is why people are going to retail outlets and they are not asking something to wash their clothes. They are asking sunlight. Whatever soap it is, they are asking for sunlight. Don't they? Sunlight at that. That is how they are. So that is the power of position. Or else in positioning, what happens is we just try to keep the brands or else our brand's name in customers' mind. We just try to inculcate our brand's name to customers' mind. That is what happens in position, right? I will explain these things, but I just try to give you a brief explanation of what these things are all about. These are very much practical, and these are the things that companies are practicing, right? Without practicing these things, they cannot do their marketing operations, right? They cannot do their uh, marketing function, or else they cannot sell their products to the customer. Then first one, for this segmentation, we call it as S. That is what I have mentioned here: segmentation, targeting, and position. These three letters will be the whole discussion which come under this session, right? Segmentation, targeting, and position. Segmentation. So segmentation means the dividing the whole market, or else the dividing the market into smaller groups with distinct needs, characteristics, or behaviors that might require separate marketing strategies or mixes, right? Or else dividing the heterogeneous markets, sorry, yes, dividing the heterogeneous markets into homogeneous sets, right? After making a complex market taker, a complex characteristics in customers, similar characteristics in groups on the Danikatama segmentation material. That is what I've been using this age, right? Using this age, that is what I did. I divided this class, or as I assume this as a set of customers, and I divided you to different groups based on the age, right? Dividing the market into smaller groups with distinct needs, characteristics, or behaviors that might require a separate marketing strategies or mix, right? So for these different segments, I might have to go for different marketing strategies or different mixes, right? I hope you are aware of the marketing mix. What is it? What is meant by marketing mix? Yes, what is meant by marketing mix? Yes. Yes, that is price-based promotion. Through market segmentation, the companies divide, this is what I explained, a large heterogeneous market into smaller segments that can be reached more efficiently and effectively with products and services that match their unique needs. The companies try to divide the heterogeneous market into homogeneous set of customers, homogeneous set of groups, right? Because when we divide the market into those homogeneous groups, then effectively we can reach those market segments, right? Effectively we can reach those market segments. That is why we do this segmentation. And at the beginning, I told you that the company cannot offer their products to everyone in the marketplace, right? To everyone in the marketplace. If a one company can offer their product to everyone in the marketplace, then they do not want to do that much of marketing activity, right? If a company can offer their product to everyone in the marketplace, this marketing function may not be this much of complex, right? That is why let's take as an example a product like salt, right? Are they doing a very complex marketing activities? No, they are not. That is because they can offer a product like salt can be offered to everyone in the marketplace because we know that for home purposes we need to have salt, even sugar from sunflower model to milk, those things are available and everyone needs to have it. They are not functioning or they are not practicing a very complex type of marketing activity. But let's take clothing items, right? We have different brands, thousands of brands are available in the marketplace, undertaking different marketing activities for different prices, right? In different places, those products are available and they are undertaking very complex marketing activities. That is because they are serving to particular segments only, right? They know that their products can be bought by everyone and that is not available to everyone sometimes. And all the customers may not prefer those products, right? That is why when it comes to products like those, we have very complex types of marketing activity, right? Then segmenting consumer markets, there is no single way to segment markets, right? For the segmentation, we have to use some mechanism, but still we do not have a single way to segment the market. The marketing has to try different segmentation variables along and in combination to find the best way to view the market structure, right? We can say that this is the exact way that we can use to segment our market, right? Yeah, I have used the age. Right? I just used the age. Otherwise, rather than the age, I could have used where you are from, right? Maybe your province, right? Then your behavior, whether you are a heavy user, whether you are a non-user, right? Or else how familiar you are with those brands. I could have used different set of variables, right? But as an example, I just use the age, right? Maybe the occupation I could have used because based on the occupation, what we are consuming can differ, right? Let's say once you complete this one or once you are fully qualified with the chartered, right? Maybe what you are consuming can totally be different. But you are wearing, right? You might be going for different brands, luxury brands, right? And where you are eating, you may not be going for these small boutiques. In the road, you might be always focusing on going for these star class places. There is to maintain sometimes some status, right? Likewise, we can use different variables to segment the market, right? And when we use more segmentation variables, then we can find the best segment to offer our products and services, right? Here are the major segmentation bases. We can use geographic variables, demographic variables, psychographic variables, and behavioral variables, right? Geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral variables. Other than this, we can use many more. These are the most commonly used variables to segment the market, right? Under this each variable, we have some subcategories. Under geographic, we have, let's say we are going to the global marketplace, right? Global marketplace. In such cases, we might have to consider this world, region, or country. Right? I will tell you one example. A McDonald's. initially when they came to the India, they failed. Do you know about the beef burger story? What happened to McDonald's in India? Do you know it or not? In India, the cow is treated as a god, right? So initially, when they came to the Indian market with the beef burger, it was totally rejected by the customers because McDonald's did not understand or else did not have an understanding about the culture of Indian markets. So that the McDonald's that beef burger was totally rejected by the Indian consumers. So as a solution for that, the McDonald's had to come up with a beef burger which is appealing to the consumers in the Indian market, right? So that is why I told you we need to consider about the different countries, the different regions, right? Because based on the country, based on the region, they might have different cultural values. That is why we have in Sri Lanka, we have this in Burger King and in KFC even we have this price option now. Initially we did not have, right? Because now they have understood that with this culture and with this the people's behavior, the Sri Lankans are very much concerned on having price and curry of fried rice, right? That is why we have those options with those uh, global junk food providers. But initially they didn't have an intention to offer those products, right? So these are the main segmentation variables: the geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral. Under geographic, we can go for bird, country, province, district, city, density, climate, or many more. Even for village level, we can go, right? Then demographic, we can use age, gender, family size, family life cycle, income, occupation, education, religion, nationality, right? Based on the religion, sometimes we might have to change what we are offering, especially in terms of food, right? When it comes to food, right? In some religion, they may not be different types of meat items. In some religion, it does not matter, right? Then psychographic variables like social class. If the people are from upper social class, then we can easily target the high price, premium price products, right? But if people are from lower level, then it will be very much difficult for us to target them a high price or premium price products, right? Their lifestyle, their personality. Personality means some people might be uh, very much focused on consuming the new products come into the markets. There are some people, there are some customers, right? If a new type of product is coming to the market, they always are willing to consume those type of products, right? Again, there can be another set of customers who are not willing to consume new types of products to come into the market. So in such cases, when we are introducing a new products in the market, we always should focus on targeting the customers who are willing to accept the new products at the very first time, right? Then the behavioral based on the occasions, right? What consumers are using can be different. Then based on the benefits that they can get, based on user status, user rates, loyalty status, rental status, and attitude towards the products, right? Based on those things, what customers are consuming can be different, right? Customers are consuming can be different. Then we'll do one small question for this one. You're clear so far? Anything to ask about this one? Do you get a break normally after this? Okay. Is it around 5 minutes, 10 minutes? 20 minutes. 20, I can't hear. Because I started at like 20. Yes. And it's a department. I think like 15 minutes, right? You can come by, what time is 1:55. Is it? 1:50? Right? You can come by, what time? Sorry? Uh, just come by 10 past 15. This come on time is very much important. When you are on break, you need to go out. Nama weed kasya. Order bol diesel ki suma. Partner ke naam pe kada. Not 7. 437 1863. Grammar sa ticket for kya? Ang details sa
Nè, với tao sao chị để chụp vào đây cái rồi anh là hai trẻ một tuần đây nghe hỏi em bước đại đi có cái đó là đi mata saya ke mata tak saya di ikut kan ya ikut kan kalau tu bạn để cái này cái nếu thằng tim cái của cái gì đấy
Right, okay. For countdown time. It's now. So do you have lectures evening as well? Do you have lectures for some 7? How many lectures do you have? 6. No. How many subjects do you have? Five. You know, then you have only two. Is it? Saturday, again. Then for marketing into the fixed time, it also changes. Anyway, you have only five subjects, right? We'll do one small activity based on this one, right? I mean, check, right? We'll see. Good. We do one small activity based on this implementation, right? So just imagine that. So you need to do this better if you do this as group. Refer maximum of 3 people to be in one group, right? Hey. 3 people into one group. Yes. Then even one person can do this. Such maximum 3. The one person can be a group. But then what you should do is, let's say you are going to introduce doing the kind of business. A business which gives a great experience for the customer. Right? That is the business that you are going to start. But we discussed that we cannot offer that product to everyone. That is why we do this segmentation, targeting, and customer. So based on what we have discussed so far, just try to segment the markets to offer your adventure service to travelers, right? We actually service the experience product එක customers will offer කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන විදිහට ඒ market එක segment කරන්න බලන්න. Just take a piece of paper and write down a different segments and you go edit. Try to identify different segments which you can offer this product. With people, if it is true, that's fine. Then you agree. Just go ahead. You do and you three. I will give you like 5 minutes. Enough. Oh, we have finished. You working on it? These type of questions would be there in the exam. Take that question. These type of right, okay, you see what you have done. Just tell me segments you have identified. What segments you have identified? What did you go for your word region and country? Why should you go for word region and country? Your girls and boys. Why? What are demography, age, right? Okay. Which type of age categories are you have you identified? Young people, right? Okay. What else? Right. No, hello. Yes, how about you? Other spaces, right? What are the segments you identified? Sorry. Family size. All right, okay. Just tell me the segmentation, segments you have identified. Okay, okay, fine. How are you? Still not. Okay. Demographic age 18 to 30, 18 to 50. Right, okay. From any nation, right? At where is he? Yes, right, okay. How about you? Right. Okay, you have discussed and you have identified a few things. Right, you have identified few things. I did not take everyone's answers. Let's say some people have identified as one segment, right? Has anyone selected gender for segmenting gender? Why did you select gender? Sorry, both. Both. So if you're focusing on both, not going to select the gender. Let's say like is that once we segment the market, in the next point we should targeting the, let's say like, in the example I discussed with you, I divided you into three age categories. Then among those three age categories, I selected 201 category. But if I selected all three categories, then I could not have divided you using the age, because everyone in the marketplace I consider. Right? So since we are offering the product for both males and females, no point of dividing the market using gender. Is it clear to you? So why we should not use gender if we are offering the product to everyone in the marketplace? Right? Then another set of people had selected all nationalities for segmentation. But if you offer the product for everyone in the markets, again, no point of selecting all countries or all nationalities. Right? Same like gender. Because if we are offering that to everyone, then we can go for another different set of criteria like income, occupations, their lifestyle, different benefits that they are seeking for, right? Their personality, right? We can go for those items. Is it clear to you? So how we can do the segmentation? And especially when we go for the segmentation, and I saw like almost everyone had selected only one from this geography, only one from this demography. But it should not be. You can select a many if you need. From even demographic, you can select a many. Right? Even from psychographic, you can select a many. Right? And still we have not selected any set of customers to offer our products. Still we are in the process of dividing our markets into different parts, different set of customers who can have a similar characteristics. Right? Let's take a few. Let's take we'll see from geographic anything we can take world, region or country, since we are offering for everyone from both locals and foreigners, no point of taking, right? But if we are particularly offering it for foreigners, then we can go for country or region, right? Because except Sri Lankans, we are offering it to everyone. Is it clear to you? Right? But since we are offering this to everyone, let's assume that we are offering this to everyone, then no point of dividing the market using say country, world, province, district, or anything. Right? Then let's take something from demographic. Age, can we take age? Can we take age? Age, can you take? Age can pull on. Can you take age? This we can modulate. Because we are not offering this for kids, right? Small children, like one group. Then let's take. We first divide the markets. Age below. Let's take 50, right? And people more than 15, right? More than 15, and less than let's assume 50, 50 to 50, and more than 50, right? In this way, we can divide our whole customer base. People below 50, in between 15 to 50, and more than 50. But still, we haven't selected, but we feel like the age factor can be considered, right? Then gender, no point of using, since you're offering this to both males and females. If you're particularly offering this to males or females, then we can use gender as a segmentation variable, right? Then family size, no need, I guess. Life cycle, income, what words we can use, right? Because these adventure experiences can be very high in terms of price, right? Let's take the income. Income below 50, then 50 to 100, 100 to 150, and more than 150. These are just assumptions, right? In companies, they do real data to segment the market, right? Then occupation, do not want. We do it have education. The people will pass the O levels, A levels, or graduated. Only will be given this experience. No, education. Religion we don't want. Nationality we don't want. Right. Then social class. I don't think that we can use that. In some cases, if this is very much expensive, then we can especially target the high social class people, people in the upper levels. Right. Then lifestyle, personality. This lifestyle we can use sometimes. Right. People seeking for adventure. Right. In some travelers. Some travelers are especially looking for adventure experience. Some people are especially looking for food experience. Some people are going for this religious experience, right? Likewise, people can have different lifestyles, right? Or maybe different benefits that they are looking for, right? So based on those things, we can divide the segments, divide the markets, and occasions we don't want, I guess. Then under benefits we can take. Let's take adventure experience. Then religious. These are some concerns of the travelers. Don't they? Travel, they may different experience. Some people go to have food experience. Right. Likewise, they can have different benefits that they're expecting. And low user rates, right? Lower readiness, attitude towards the products, right? We can use if we want, right? So this is what I asked you to do. Still, we haven't selected the markets to offer our product, but we divided the whole market based on different criteria that we can use. This is what we mainly do under segmentation. Is that clear to you how the segmentation is done? Is it clear to you? If you have anything to ask, you can ask, right? And keep in your mind that though we have this thousands of a number of characteristics, it does not say that we should use everything. But more you use segmentation variables, better our segmentation will be. Right? अपने segmentation variable better पर बात करना है अपने all the target market identify करना तो right? Okay. I hope that's clear to you. Right. So once we do that segmentation, we need to evaluate those segmentation. Right? We need to once we do that segmentation, we need to see whether those segments are effective enough. Right? These are called as requirements for effective segmentation. We have 5 main criteria to see the effectiveness of the segments that we have identified. Right? Effectiveness of the segments that we have identified. The measurable, accessible, substantial, differentiable, and actionable. This is easy to keep in your mind. Keep the first letters of each word in your mind. That's right. Measurable, accessible, substantial, differential, and actionable. Right? The measurable means the size, purchasing power, and profiles of the segments can be measured. Right? Let's say we have these different segments. This is one segment, this is another one, another one, right? We have different types of segments, right? Then we try to see the size of that segment, right? We can just have a rough idea about, let's say if it is local, we can have a rough idea about the people below 15 years old, right? Then we can have a rough idea about the people between 15 to 50. But an exact idea, a rough idea we can have. Then based on the income again, we can have a rough idea. Then we know how large our segment will be. Size of the segment, we can have a rough idea. Then purchasing power, we can simply identify this. If the people are below 15, then we know that they don't have that much of a big purchasing power in a country like Sri Lanka, right? Even people in 2030 don't have purchasing power. Then how can they have? How can people below 15 have purchasing power, right? Then when it comes to income as well, that is obvious. We can find their purchasing power, right? So in that way, we can see we can achieve this one, this measurable criteria, right? To see how effective our segment is. The next one, accessible. The market segments can be effectively reached or served, right? Which means, as a company, we need to see how well or how effective we can serve our product or offerings for these different segments, right? We need to know whether our products can be offered to people who are earning below 50,000 per month, right? That is obvious, and it is not bearable for them, right? It may not be practical if we are offering our product for the people earning below 50,000. If we are targeting, if we are promoting our product for those people, it won't be easy, it won't be bearable for those customers, right? Then substantial, the market segments are large or profitable enough to serve. And we should have sufficient number of customers, right, to purchase our products in the particular segments that we have identified. Or else, that segment should generate a sufficient amount of profit for us. Right? Let's take this people below 50, they may not be able to generate sufficient profit. Right? And even the people earning in between 50 to 100K, they won't be able to generate a sufficient amount of profit for us. There's no point of offering our product to those things. Then differentiable, the segments are conceptually distinguishable and respond differentially to different marketing mix elements and programs, right? Which means we should be able to do different marketing mix programs for these different segments we have identified. That is why in some cases we have online stores and physical stores, right? For different segments, they are offering different marketing mix. In terms of the distribution, we go physically, and some people might be coming online. They might be placing their orders online, right? But the same product is being offered. In the case, they are offering the same product, but their marketing mix, how they are practicing that marketing mix for those different segments can be different. Then actionable, effective programs can be designed for attracting or serving the segment. It's like we should be able to design different marketing programs to reach the different customers in those different segments, right? So that is how we can see the effectiveness of the segments that we have identified. We can use this measurable, then accessible, substantial, differentiable, and actionable, right? So these 5 criteria can be used to see whether our segments are effective or not. Is this clear to you? How these things are, how these things can be used to see the effectiveness of our payments? Here is the measurable, accessible, substantial, differentiable, and actionable. Anything to ask? Clear? What do you feel? Is it okay? I need a response from you. Is it okay? Right? Right. So that is all about the segmentation. Now we are going to select a segment to offer our products or services, right? We still need to select a set of customers to offer our product. What we did was just segment these heterogeneous markets into homogeneous sets of customers, right? The next one is market targeting. The target marketing is the process of evaluating niche market segments, attractiveness, and selecting one or more segments. The target market means, market targeting. We just need to evaluate these identified segments, right? Using those criteria that we have discussed before, right? We can evaluate these segments we have identified, right? That is called as the market targeting. Market targeting. Then target market means, do not get confused with these two words. This is market targeting, this is target market. A set of buyers sharing common needs or characteristics that the company decides to serve. Right? The set of segments that we select to offer our products are called as the target markets. Then market targeting means the process of evaluating each market segment's attractiveness and selecting one or more segment to enter. Let's say we have these segmentations, we have these segments, and just assume we select this segment, then this one, and this one, these segments to offer our products, right? So evaluating these segments is called as the market targeting, right? The first one, market targeting, the process of evaluating each market segments and selecting. Then target market means a set of buyers sharing common needs or characteristics that the company decides to serve. Then these customers, they have common characteristics. They are between 15 to 50 and they are earning 100 to 150 and they are looking for adventure benefits, right? That is what we call as the target market. Set of buyers sharing common needs or common characteristics, right? Then if I put you into our three different sections using that age, right? And just assume I selected the age category of 25 to 30. Then that is my target market. That that everyone in that age category are belonging to 25 to 30. They are common in terms of the age criteria that I have used. Clear how we can select this target market and what is market target. Is it clear to you? Then targeting, the firm now has to evaluate the various segments and decide how many and which segments it can serve best. So these are like other things that we can evaluate market segments, segment size and growth, attractiveness and competitive objectives and resources. The same like what we have discussed previously, right? Mathematical game the money. These are like things that we can use to evaluate the market segment. The segment size and growth, the sales growth rates, expected profitability, then structural attractiveness, who are the competitors are there, the substitute products, power of buyers, power of suppliers, right? Those things we can use. Then company objectives and resources, long run objectives, speeds and resources, right? So using these things, we can evaluate the segments to offer our products and services. So far, are you okay? Are you clear with what I have discussed? Right? We just try to identify what segmentation, how it is done, different variables that we can use to segment the marketplace, and then the targeting, right? Market targeting and the target market. Is it clear to you? So please tell me, otherwise you will be in trouble at the examination. Right? What is your pass mark? Is it 30, 40, 50? Okay. Fine. No, I will second year. I don't know. Right? First year, second semester. Then what are the other subjects you will have? Statistics, right? Business economics, management fundamentals, and then you have two economic subjects. Business economics and principles of economics. Right? Are you so far? Is it one? Right? I'm the clear. Anything you ask? I hope explaining things in English is fine with me. Right? Otherwise, I can explain in singular, but not everything. In some cases, it's very difficult for us to explain the things in singular. Right? Okay. Right. So these are some of the market targeting strategies. Right? Market targeting strategies. Though we discussed that we need to segment the markets, though we need to select one or few segments to offer other products and services, still there can be some companies who are not going with that one. Right? That is why we have these different market targeting strategies, starting from undifferentiated, differentiated, concentrated, and micro marketing or individual marketing. Right? Undifferentiated or mass marketing, which means without having any differentiation for products or services, they are just trying to offer their products for everyone in the market. Like I discussed with you, a product like salt. Right? We do not see that much of differences in product like salt. Do we see a huge difference? When it comes to Raigan or when it comes to Lakloro, no, we don't see that much of difference. We only have those brand names, the differences in terms of brand name. But in terms of the product, we get more towards a similar one. Right? Undifferentiated market. Then they don't consider about the age, income, right? Even for the ones earning millions and even for the ones earning thousands, they are offering the same sort product. Right? Irrespective of the occupation, irrespective of the gender, right? They are offering the same product for the customer. Undifferentiated market. Or else mass market. They target broadly, or else they target the whole market, everyone in the marketplace. Undifferentiated or mass market. Those days in previous years, we did have this one, right? They did not focus about the people, the needs and wants of the customers. What they wanted was to sell what they are produced. That is what happens in product concept. Hope you can remember that Ford model car, right? Whatever the color that customers are asking for, Henry Ford produced the black color car, right? Which means they produce what they want and without any differentiation, without any changes for the product, they are producing what they want to the customers in the market, right? Undifferentiated or mass market. The next one, the differentiated or segmented market. This is what we have discussed so far. Companies selling the products or different products for different segments, right? Differentiated market, the segmented market. Based on the segments that we can offer the product, they are selling the product. Differentiated or segmented market. Like many number of companies are following this one, differentiated or segmented market, right? We have an explanation. Undifferentiated or mass marketing. The first one we have discussed. The market coverage strategy in which the firm might decide to ignore market segment differences and go after the whole market with one offer. For the whole market, they offer one product or service. Right. The mass marketing strategy focuses on what is common in the needs of consumers rather than on what is different. The next one, the segmented marketing, that is what we have discussed so far. The market coverage strategy in which a firm decides to target several market segments and design separate offers for each. Okay. They just try to offer different offers for different segments, right? That is why when it comes to our textiles, our clothes, right? For this crowd, they are offering something different, right? For weddings, they are offering something different, right? When it comes to let's say this rainy season, right? They are offering something different, right? So based on the behavior of the customers, based on the preferences of the customers, they are offering different products for their target market. That is what is happening in this segmented or differentiated marketing. Higher sales, a stronger position within each market segment, increasing the cost of doing business. That is true. When we follow this segmented marketing or differentiated marketing, the cost of doing business is high compared to the mass market. Because depending on the market segment, we might have to change our product. Sometimes designs, sometimes colors, right? Then sometimes different sizes, right? From different materials, we have to change our product, right? The next one, the concentrated or niche market. The market coverage strategy in which a firm goes after a large share of one or a few smaller segments only, right? It's like targeting a smaller set of customers. As I told you at the beginning, under corporate analysis, right? Selling the products only for the people who are looking for antique product, antique goods, or lefties, selling products for the lefties, right? So whatever the product they are producing, they are targeting only lefties, and they know that though that market size is small, the profit can be very high, right? Profits can be very high. Each market. The next one is right. This is a in niche marketing, they can achieve a strong market position because of its greater knowledge of customer needs. Because in niche markets, we have only a few customers sometimes. Then companies can have a better understanding about the customer, right? About the customer base, they can have a better understanding. So that they can offer the most suitable product for the customer. Then fine-tune the marketing mix to the needs of carefully defined segments. That is again correct and obvious. And targeting products or services, channels, and communication programs toward only consumers that we can serve best and most popularly. Right? They always can target the products, or as they always can sell their products for the most needy person, right? Because they know the actual preference or the actual demand of the customer. Since they have a very small set of customers, right? In terms of the number, and they know their preferences well, they know what these customers are looking for, right? So therefore, it is easy for them to operate. And though the market size is small, in terms of profit, they might be earning a high levels, right? Then the next one is micro marketing. Final one is micro marketing, or else it is called as the local or individual marketing. So there are two parts of micro marketing: the local and individual marketing. The practice of tailoring products and marketing programs to needs and wants of specific individuals and local customers. Right. First one, the local market. Tailoring product or is offering products and services to the needs and wants of local customer groups, or maybe targeting customers in a particular city, or maybe particular area, or maybe in a particular province, right? That is what is happening in local market. right? They are not offering for everyone. They are focusing only about one small area sometimes, right? Or maybe they are offering products only in southern region, only in western province, right? Or maybe only in northern district, right? That is what is happening in this local market. The individual marketing means offering products for the individual's requirements, right? Or is offering customized products, right? Or let's say what is offering to me is not what is offered to you, right? The best example could be the tailoring, right? That is more towards this individual marketing because my measurements may not be going with someone else in the market, right? Even haircuts, what is required to be may not be what is required to someone else, right? Then let's say this makeups and everything, right? These are very much customized, right? Then Apple, this one, they on the Apple products, they engrave our names if we make the request, right? They offer customized products for us, right? That is individual market. Individually, they are trying to satisfy customers' needs and wants. And this is very much costly, as well as these products can be very high in terms of the price. The prices of these products are very high. Individual marketing, tailoring products and marketing programs to the needs and preferences of individual customers, labeled as one-to-one marketing, customized marketing, and markets of one market. For your products, appealing to the preferences of one customer, right? So what is offered to me may not be offered to someone else because others will be offered what they are asking for, right? Simple examples like haircut, tailoring, keep those in your mind. And global level in Apple, right? They engrave the product. If you make a request, they engrave our names to those product that they are selling, right? You can calculate these for them: mass marketing, differentiated niche, and local marketing, or else micro marketing. These four: mass marketing, differentiated niche, and micro marketing, or local or individual market. In here, we target broad for whole market. We are trying to offer, but when it comes to micro marketing, we just try to target narrow from a broad picture to a narrow picture. We are targeting our products and services. From targeting broadly to targeting narrowly. I hope those things are clear. Anything to ask? Any example for this local marketing or individual marketing? Yes. Local marketing or individual marketing example that you know. I share with you what I know. Yes. Examples. Or even selling things only in specific stores can be taken as local marketing. We can see some brands are being sold only in specific stores only, right? Yes, an example from your end. In one example of a yes. I hope you all are consuming products and services. How about an example? Is anything you know? Did you understand this concept, local and individual marketing? That's the thing you know. Example, either from local context or global context. Yes. I shared with you something I know. Yes, Rolex watch. That is smart was individual marketing. Yes, Rolex. What is it? Sorry? Yes, Rolls Royce. That is also smart was individual marketing. Yes. Um, Local marketing. How about for local marketing? Number for local marketing. Yes. Example. Strategy concept you should be able to announce. What is an individual? How about this private dressing? That is coming from individual market, right? But what is required to you may not be what is required to you. They are using those, I don't know, those saris or anything, candians or anything. Some people are going for traditional candian, some people are going for modern, right? Then in terms of the color, in terms of color of the jewelries, in terms of the colors of the uh, flowers that they are using, right? They are dressing, right? So many differences are there, right? How they need to get their nails arranged, right? Everything differs. It is a not word individual marketing, right? Right. We have like our preferences for those things. We have so many. Let's take about birthday cakes, right? Based on our requirements, they prepare, they make the orders, right? Birthday cakes, anniversary cake, right? Then cake structure, right? Those are like not done without our idea, without our consent. So based on what we want, based on our preferences, they prepare those products or else they make those products, right? Now how about examples? Sorry? Yes, instructions more towards individual, right? Let's take building a house, right? Building a house. Because we have our dream houses in our mind and we have our own plans, right? And then structure, everything is being done based on what we want. Otherwise, sometimes we won't be accepting it, right? Therefore, this individual marketing, the service providers are also charging high prices. That is why it was salon people, right? They're charging high prices. But still, we are purchasing because we know that they can provide what we want, right? Therefore, we're still purchasing those products. And this would be a better marketing opportunity because we can earn high profits when it comes to individual marketing. That is why in simple manner, rather than in group classes, in individual classes, people have to pay high prices. O levels or A levels, O levels, people are going for individual classes rather than going for the math class, right? Then based on that individual requirements, we can charge, or as the people are charging from those customers, right? Right, okay. That is all about this market targeting strategies. And I hope you're clear with what we have discussed today. And if you have anything to ask, you can ask. And I will share all these learning materials and assessment guidelines with you, right? My name is, and you please send me the assessment guide, right? And I will prepare a document and share it with you. Then please follow those guidelines and do a better job for the assessment as well. And make sure to submit the report on time. Normally, how do you submit? Are they online or do you submit printed ones? Online. The LMS. Right. Then I will check that everything and do better job for the assessment as well. But then thank you and have a nice day. Bye.